This is Jeanne Caudill. She's from Mullins Elementary right here in Pike County, and her project title is Good Day, Kentucky. And her program description is on page 26.
I know it's gonna be another great day. The sun is shining through. Before you are on your way, we want to say we're happy to be with you. Good day, Kentucky.
This was written by a student, and she recorded it in an iPhone, and we actually, right now, we have plans to go to the Mountain Arts Center and take about 5 students who are taking voice lessons, and they're going to go down and record it a little bit better, but I love it catches in your head and you can get it out. She also drew this with paint. I think this is just amazing. And she was using a stylus, and she said it just became too hard, so she used her finger to do it, and she had to draw the sun and then erase it. But this is the logo and the song for our TV news show that we have, our morning news show. It's called Good Day, Kentucky, and it's along the lines of Good Morning America. Okay, and the project overview for this, I think there's some more words on there. Okay, we were doing a morning talk show, and we were going to demonstrate our learning. We took a field trip. At the beginning of the year, we have a unit, and it is about schools. And they particularly talk about schools long ago and compare them to schools today. So you get compare and contrasting. So part of the money that we got from this grant, we used to go down to the Mountain Home Place in Paintsville. If you go in about the first week of September, the extension office has people down there. They also have units for the teachers and all. And you go down there, and they have got people all over that place demonstrating how to be a blacksmith, about the one-room school, about the church, about the homes, grinding corn. They are just doing everything. It is a wonderful time to go down there, but we've also learned don't go on a Friday. Everyone goes on Friday. So we went down like maybe on a Tuesday, and we were the only ones there, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So the rationale behind the project is, and I looked some of the research up about this, which says if they create their own video presentation, they're going to show a deeper learning. And this was a kind of our culminating activity at the end of the project. We knew what we were going to be doing, so we looked into, researched what we were doing, we filmed what we were doing, and anyway, it says it encourages deeper level thinking by the students, and it does. And Movie Maker, iMovie, these things are really easy for the kids to use and to drag the scenes in or to cut and split or whatever. First graders can do it. Okay, here's our timeline. We took a field trip. We did a Skype. Part of what we did when we were learning about the one-room schools, we wanted someone's first-hand experiences. So my dad lives in Illinois, and he went to a one-room school, and I know all of his stories, and I know they're good. So we Skyped him from Illinois back, and the kids talked to him, and he told them all about what he had learned and how he learned in a one-room school, what games he played, what he had for lunch, all the different things like that. And I know one of the stories he told them was about, they didn't get chased by dogs. He lived out on a farm. They got chased by bulls that the neighbors had to put up. Then we created a theme song, and then we chose the student logo, and because we wanted to have that for our news show. Okay, and then again, timeline. We had to do a script. Then we filmed it, and we edited it, and then it took us probably till December to publish it, because it's just not something you can just delve into every day and stay deep into. Okay, we knew that we had to use a graphic organizer to organize our thoughts. I love using them. So a Good Day Kentucky, we talked about schools, food, how kids play, fashion, and school transportation. In the fashion segment, I can't believe I still have this, but I have a dress I wore in first grade as Little Bo Peep, and it had the bonnet and all that. So one of my first grade girls wore that to demonstrate what fashion was like back then. Okay, this is the lady who talked to them in the one-room school. She was excellent. She told them everything. And she had her son there also. And then I also included a picture of where my dad Skyped with them from my classroom. Okay, and then comparing and contrasting is very important for the children to know how to do. The one-room schoolhouse, and then they also listened to his experiences. What I found interesting, the lady in the one-room schoolhouse talked about punishment, and she had, you know, like a switch, and she had a paddle and the dunce cap. That's what I would have expected. But when we talked to my father, and we said, how did they punish you in school? He said, I don't ever remember my teacher spanking anyone. He said, she just would not let us go outside to play. And I thought, how similar is that? He's 90 years old. How similar is that to some of the ways that we also use some of the, take some of the privileges away, I'll say. Okay, and these are scenes that we used in Good Day, Kentucky. Up here, the big one, our children got to grind corn and make cornmeal. So what we did in Good Day, Kentucky was we had a little girl, and she called herself Chef Mullins, because we have learned on when we publish anything to YouTube or whatever, we don't use real names. We use fake names because we don't want there to be any problem with someone maybe coming to the school and looking up this child. So she called herself Chef Mullins. So we did a Food Network type show. And she was Chef Mullins, and she demonstrated how to make cornbread, and is absolutely adorable. Okay, this is at the one-room school, and of course we had the fashion of the day there, and then they had the little girl demonstrate with her, with the dress. And then we also compared it to our clothes of today. There's a lot of, it just really lends itself to this. Okay, we used anchors. These were kids that just started the show out, and they were from our STLP. So we collaborated with STLP, and they did a wonderful job. So, looking ahead, creating more episodes. The one on the top, if you'll hit the words are on there too. Okay, the one on the top is one of my favorite Skypes ever. We were doing a unit about using maps. It was just called North, South, East, and West. And so the kids really had to know geography very deeply to do the things they were doing here. But I wanted to Skype someone from every continent, and I knew the hardest one was going to be Antarctica. So I went online. This is how I did it. I just went to Google, and I Googled scientists in Antarctica, and this guy's name popped up. So I emailed him and asked him if he would care to Skype with our students, and they loved it. I don't really think that they had done with schools much, and you know, they're down there and they've got jobs to do, but they really loved doing this. So this was kind of later on in the night because they were 4 hours ahead of us. And anyway, they said that they love Skyping students because they wanted these students to want to grow up to be scientists. So this has been one of my favorites. I worked on with the Mondo pad and got it all set up, and then what happens? It snows, and I had to go ahead with the Skype from my house because these guys were leaving the next day to go back to Belgium where they're from because it's now winter there and they can't stay there during the winter. But I brought it to school and showed it to the kids, but they answered the kids' questions because they asked us to develop 10 questions ahead of time so that they would be able to have all the answers. So whenever they came on and did the Skype with me, I just asked the questions and they answered them, and then the kids got to hear the answers to their questions. So the snow really kind of messed that up a little bit, but we still got to see it, and now I have it for time and eternity. We had a unit about animals, and so we did a Skype with Yellowstone, and we filmed a lot of that. And so we had a lot of collaboration. Mountain Home Place. This is called the Princess Elizabeth Research Station. They have their own website. It's amazing in itself. They actually discovered penguins in Antarctica that no one had seen before, and they saw it through a satellite. They just saw a lot of little dots. And so they've got a really interesting part on there about the penguins. I use Skype in the classroom to get the Skypes. I'm right now involved with the Microsoft Global Educators Exchange. that is something you guys are going to want to do with this project-based learning that you're doing. I have worked with them since 2012, and it's absolutely fabulous. Recently, they sent me 2 surfaces for free to use in my classroom, and they're going to pay for me to go to Philadelphia to ISTE. Okay, and then Yellowstone, we use that, and then of course ARI. So, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.